Hi, everyone. Bill Rentschler alongside Danielle Shenk in the 1011 Now streaming studio for another edition of Star City Buzz. Our open there didn't quite want to roll the way it wanted to, so we really are just kind of jumping in to some of our events that we have going on.
I mean, or you could say it could have given people quite the fright. It is spooky season.
It is spooky season. This is true. But again, it's just a little bit of a scuffle out of the gate. A little bit. Our button didn't quite want to work the way it's supposed to work.
But hey, what can you do? You know, that's the glories of the streaming studio.
This is true. It is a little less structured, a little more wild west.
Yes.
When it comes to your content experience. So again, Danielle, if anyone's joining us for the very first time, again, Star City Buzz, just letting folks know kind of what's going on through the weekend. You do an excellent job of putting together a wonderful article that you can find right now on 1011now.com that's going to break down everything that we have to say here coming up over the next 20 or 30 minutes.
Yes, mostly. We left out in this the trunk or treats because there's over 20 across the capital city this weekend. That and some of the tunnels of terror where you go through a car wash and it's all spookified. So we kind of left those out to the wayside because, you know, most of them are somewhat the same.
Yes.
But, you know, maybe word of mouth, tell your friends, ooh, this trunk or treat was really awesome, and, you know, things like that. But that way it doesn't take up our entire time and we don't have any other time left for other events. We've decided to set those aside and leave those for the article.
Yes, exactly. So, and we want to start off with, again, we usually have one big event we want to talk about again. Obviously, a lot of times it's, you know, with Husker football's in town or something like that. Husker volleyball's in town this weekend, but... They play Illinois and Michigan, and kind of fairly low-key games.
Yeah, we already swept Illinois, and, you know, Michigan
is Michigan.
They've, you know, they're all right.
But we want to start off with our big event, which is kind of a multi-day event, and it's one that you can do at any time. You could go do it right now if you wanted to, and that is go check out some spooky season Halloween decor. Again, you have the Phillips Lincoln Lights, which, again, years ago this started, and he did a great job with Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And now, you know, doing the same thing, but with the Halloween decorations. So, again, you can check out the website, spend the weekend. Weather should be nice, checking out all the spooky decorations.
Yeah, and I've taken a look at this website. They have little ghosties that pop up for each little house that's been submitted that you can go see some lights. So, you know, just like you might for Christmas lights, you can create your own little, weave your way through the city to see some great displays. I gotta say, I brought this up. Chanel actually did this story. The video that you're seeing now was from last week, but I told Bill there is one house at 56th and Holdridge that made me turn around when I saw it the other day. The display is just incredible. And I'm pretty sure it's on this spooky map that they have. But I'm glad that there's a Halloween version of this. I'm a big fan of spooky season. And so I was thinking about it the other day before I even knew this even existed, that I was like, man, you know, that'd be really nice to know where all of the Halloween spooktacular decor setups are, and lo and behold,
here it is. And again, it's phillipslincolnlights.com. Again, Chanel did a good job. She covered this story for us earlier this week, but this is what it looks like. Again, you mentioned the little ghosties that pop up here on the Google map. So again, you can kind of plan your trip, and it's kind of all corners of town there.
Yeah.
There's something. So I mean, if you're on the southeast side of town, you don't have to go all the way, you know, maybe to the other side of town. There's plenty of locations, and you can kind of plan out a little trip, and then you can just head around town. Put the kids in the car, maybe a snack or two. You know, wait till it gets a little bit dark outside. You know, sunset is just a little after 6 now, so you don't have to wait too long. But, you know, then take a trip and see some spooky stuff.
Yeah, and if you see some displays that you're absolutely in love with, or you have a display of your own that you'd like to show off, I think we have our own little album set up on our website where you can submit pictures for Halloween 2024. So make sure you put them there.
Yeah, so that's something that you can do all weekend. You can do that all the way up through Halloween. But other sort of multi-day events that are happening through the weekend, Danielle, we've covered some of these before. But again, Apparition Lincoln at the Cornhusker Hotel, that's going to be every day from 6 to midnight, and that's through November 2nd. And again, we also still have our Puzzling Adventures scavenger hunt, but new this weekend now.
Woo!
Boo at the Zoo.
Boo at the Zoo.
Happening at the Lincoln Children's Zoo.
Yes, and 5:30 to 8 for most of the days, although Sunday it's from 12:30 to 3 on that Sunday. So good opportunity to get the kiddos over to the Lincoln Children's Zoo and
And
have
I know
a fright or two.
John Chapo is supposed to be retired, but it wouldn't surprise me if you did see the wizard
Yeah.
there at one of those events.
Yes. And then obviously Harvest Vineyard hay rides at Deer Springs Winery. Once again, another staple for our multi-day events.
Yes, it absolutely is. And again, we mentioned it, but there are, the Rocket Car Wash over Intermet Drive and Village Drive. They're having their haunted tunnel tonight and tomorrow. And proceeds from that one. Well, actually, no, and then there's another one at Jet Splash that's near 84th and Highway 2, so the one near Andermatt. They're from 7 to 10 tonight and tomorrow, and they actually have proceeds going to some local nonprofits. So there's a ton of those events going on as well.
Yeah, and I think it's you either give a donation or you have to pay for like the $20 wash or whatever, but I'm sure it's worth it, and then it's going to a good cause, so.
My dogs think that the car wash is just spooky enough without all the...
I can't imagine what my cat would be like if she would lose her mind if she went through that.
Would not like?
She hates the car in general, so I'm sure flashing lights and all of that stuff would just send her into cardiac arrest.
Car is not friend-shaped. But jumping into Friday, this is not quite the right Friday, Danielle. We want to do this Friday. Actually, no, that is the right Friday. Because I just assumed we had stuff in the morning, but we don't have anything starting until the afternoon and evening on Friday.
No, yeah, we're, for the first time, a little laid back, waiting until maybe people are getting off work a little bit. So we have Nebraska Swimming and Diving taking on Iowa State at the Devaney Natorium. It's a pink out, so make sure you're decked out in all of your fun pink. Then there's a Halloween party at the
Halloween.
You're right. I need to pronounce that better to really emphasize
the howl.
The howl for Off the Leash Dog Bar's wonderful Halloween event. There we go. Another Halloween party over on Elm Street at White Elm Brewing, and then from 6 to 11, Hocus Pocus. What better way to just really get into the Halloween spirit than watching a classic like Hocus Pocus at the Lincoln Airport?
There you go.
Plus some trick-or-treating.
Plus they have their trunk or treat. So you watch a good movie and get some candy. So there you go. That's a win-win there. That's from 6 to 11 Friday evening.
Yeah.
6 to 8 if you wanted to come hang out with me and the 10-11 Weather Shield. We know we said we weren't going to include the trunk or treats, but I had to throw this one in because 10-11 Weather Shield's going to be there. Yep. It's going to be over at St. Joseph's Catholic School. Again, hanging out with the boys. It's from 6 to 8. I did purchase a fog machine today for this event.
And cobwebs. Come on, Bill.
So me and Carmelo are going to be hanging out with the Weather Shield over at St. Joe's tomorrow from 6 to 8. Again, come say bye. Or come say you could come say bye. Come say hello to us. We're going to be hanging out over there.
Yeah, and then at 6:30, you can either go to Capitol View Winery and Vineyards to listen to guitarist and singer Miles Jasnowski. He's actually based in Lincoln, I think. Or you can head over to James Arthur Vineyards for a murder mystery and wine, and then later that night it'll be stargazing.
Actually, I think when I put that in, it's murder mystery and wine and stargazing. But I bet you could probably drink wine during the murder mystery too. But you probably want your wits about you to solve the murder.
And it's a Halloween-themed murder mystery too as well, so even better. And then Nebraska Volleyball taking on Illinois at the Bob. You can watch it on BTN Plus.
I just casually looked at SeatGeek for volleyball tickets the other day.
Yeah.
In like I think it's Wisconsin. I think they played Wisconsin. And I mean, tickets were $600, $700, $800, $900.
Sure. Yeah.
And then for Illinois, it was still like $100, $200.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to get to a game, Illinois or Michigan this weekend would probably be two more inexpensive options for you.
Although it's just such a fun rivalry between Wisconsin and Nebraska. But, this year, Wisconsin's, been a little bit down. I mean, shoot, Texas just lost Texas A&M last night in 5. So,
it did.
Anything can happen. That's the love for volleyball season.
Especially this year. Also happening Friday evening at 7 p.m., the Hoot and Howl annual concert with Star City Chorus. This is going to be over at Christ United Methodist Church. Lincoln Stars, they're off to a hot start to their season. They're going to be at the Icebox taking on the Tri-City Storm. And then at 7:30 over at the Leeds Center, they have Capitol Fools. Do you have any information on Capitol Fools, Danielle?
They say it's the new generation of beloved Capitol Steps. It's DC's premier political satire show.
There you go.
So making fun of all things. I mean, although I know all of us have been making fun of the commercials that we keep saying, because I think a lot of us are ready for election season to be over a little bit. But back to the Lincoln Stars, you mentioned their hot start. I saw Kevin Suits' tweet from earlier. He's down at the Icebox because he's doing a story on them tonight. Best start since 2015. So he thought y'all should hear about it.
There you go. Jumping into Saturday events, though, we want to start off by letting folks know Good Life Halvesy is taking place on Saturday. So that may disrupt some traffic flow in and around Lincoln. They're going to start, Danielle, I believe it's over at like Seacrest.
Okay.
I think so, 70th and A-ish area. Then they're going to make their way, I believe it's down 70th. Actually, I have the map here. We can just show people. Make their way down 70th Street towards Holmes Lake, and then kind of do a little loop-de-loop there, and then basically get back on normal and take that all the way back downtown. They're going to finish down in the rail yard. So, again, the orange lines you see here are the recommended driving routes. So if you're going to be out and about, they're estimating the first runner starting at around 8:30, and then the last runner finishing around 1:30, so most of the morning into the afternoon. So, again, trying to cross over Normal or Capitol Parkway or just trying to kind of get around in the Haymarket might be a little bit difficult on Saturday.
Yeah. They kind of listed on the Sandhills Global Event Center, they have when your last name is supposed to go. So if you're A through D, you're going to be first, and then S through Z, you're running a little bit later. But Bill and I will certainly not be in attendance for this unless we would be spectators. But yeah, you wouldn't catch me. I would, I don't know, you'd have to pay me an incredible amount of money or something to get me to run in this. But you know, all the power to those that have been training for this and, take their Saturday to run in this event.
There you go. Yeah, I think Katie ran in it one year. I don't remember if it was just the Lincoln Marathon. She ran the half marathon, or if it was the Good Life Halvesy. But yeah, again, kudos to all those folks who do participate in it. It is a feat of strength, one that I used to maybe could have done
at one point in my life,
but
not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. So jumping into the rest of the Saturday stuff again, and keep in mind with all this again, to get there you may have to kind of reroute yourself based on where it is with the Good Life Halvesy. But Saturday morning, again, 9 to 2, the garage and bake sale is going to be over at the Cat House, obviously benefiting the Cat House there. Cause I know probably near and dear to your heart as a cat owner.
Yes. So they'll have pet carriers, bowls, water fountains, toys, and more. And they're going to be selling a lot of excess items like that they just can't utilize at the shelter. And then they'll have some Halloween-themed little treats and things like that, I think, for pets. So
there you go. Also starting at 9, running until 3 in the afternoon, the craft fair over at Faith Lutheran Church. So do a little shopping. They have coffee and concessions. Should be a nice little event over there. I'm intrigued by the Children of the Corn Halloween mixer. Sounds a little spooky, maybe not necessarily spooky, but just hanging out. This is going to be over at the Lincoln Sports Foundation. $5 to get in, but 11 and under are free, Danielle.
Yes. Definitely one of the better names that we've seen for Halloween spooky stuff. But yeah, admission fee, 11 and under, get in free, $5 day pass. And then they have quite the itinerary available in the link that we've put on our website, talking about when certain checks are, their entire or itinerary for the day. So it'll be quite the event. I mean, 9 to 5.
All day long. Meanwhile, over at your favorite bookstore.
Yay, Elianad.
They're having their Halloween party, and story time is going to be from 10 to 11 on Saturday morning. Again, they're always doing something fun.
Yeah.
Kind of over there. Over at Elianad, they had their Tales and Treats this last weekend. And they're giving away the Pigeon Book, which I raved about last weekend when we talked about this. I would be interested in going over to Frontier Harley Davidson Saturday from 11 to 2. They have their Harley-ween. Would it surprise you if I told you I am a former Harley Davidson owner?
No, because you wear vests every day to work. So
Every day.
honestly, that tracks.
I had to give up my bike,
Aw.
but I want one.
But you're still
I want
so
one back.
hardcore.
I have a leather jacket at home.
You know, I'd believe it. So you might see Bill over
Maybe.
at Harley-Ween,
Maybe.
where they're going to have face painting, temporary tattoos. Maybe Bill will get a temporary tattoo.
Maybe.
Giant bounce house, costume contest, of course.
There you go.
Lots of food options. So,
Guessing you'll see a lot of chaps
yeah.
in costumes and stuff like that. So it should be a good event. Also at 11, this one goes till 3, the Made Here Market, the Halloween edition. This is going to be over at Pepe's Bistro. So you're going to get local art, music, treats, and enchanting vegan treats as well.
Yes. And then the next one starting at 1 is possibly at 1 question
We're
mark.
a little there's some mixed messaging on this.
Yeah, clean up at Holmes Lake. I found this event on Visit Lincoln, and the time frame said 1 to 3, but in the description they said we're starting at 10. So
maybe just double check.
You know, yeah, if you have a connection there or you want to clean up Holmes Lake a little
Break
bit.
some leaves.
Yeah.
Make some big leaf piles to run around in.
Do some volunteer work.
There you go.
Also happening at 1, the Jen Ellen K Bags for Benefits Cornhole Tournament at Kincaidor Brewing. That'll be a good time.
And it's going to raise money for Second Chance Pups.
Mm-hmm.
It's their fall fundraiser over there at Kincaidor Brewing. A lot of cornhole tournaments I've seen popping up here.
And I'm glad. No, I was just going to say, I'm glad they say cornhole instead of bags.
Bigs.
Boo. Although that one does say bags for benefits.
It does.
Which, you know, I'll cut you some slack since it's kind of cool for the name, but.
It is. Another Halloween.
Halloween.
But a pet costume contest. This is from 2 to 3 Saturday afternoon over at Gateway Mall. Again, I would imagine. I think we should try and get a reporter over there. I'd love to see some of the some of the costumes that end up showing up there Saturday afternoon. But that would definitely be a fun event. I mean, even if you're just over at the mall, just to pop over and see kind of what some of those costumes are. And then Nebraska volleyball again back in action at 7 p.m. at the Bob. Again, taking on Michigan. We kind of already talked about that. 7:30, you have the Lincoln Symphony Orchestra, Melodies from Spain. This is going to be over at the Lead Center.
Yeah.
Busy place this weekend.
Yeah, the Lead Center's popping with quite a few different performances, including the Moth Project that's also happening there, which is an integrative live music, video storytelling, and science 75-minute show.
Interesting.
The Moth Project is going back to the Halloween pet costume, the Halloween. It just, is so easy to right off your tongue. They said that you can register the day of the event right outside of Victoria's Secret. That's happening between 1:30 and 2 before you start strutting down the runway with your pet. Hopefully a few wiener dogs and some hot dog.
Yep.
That's a winner in my book right there. But yeah, Huskers, like we've talked about, playing Illinois. Illinois is 13-5, and Michigan is a little bit better than that, I think. 15-4.
There you go.
So
it should be some good matches, but we expect a couple sweeps. Bring your brooms.
Yeah.
As Taylor Pinnell once told me, bring your broom. It's going to be a mess.
Bring your broom. It's getting witchy.
All right, Danielle, we're going to be right back. More Sunday events and look at your forecast coming up right after the break. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the 1011 Now Streaming Studio. Again, Danielle Shenk, Bill Rentschler with Star City Buzz. Just letting you know what's going on this weekend. We've done Friday. We've done Saturday. Jumping into Sunday, Danielle, featuring Husker basketball back on the court, both men and women. They're just exhibition games.
Yep.
But games that count are not that far away.
Yep. So the men are taking on the Grand Valley State. They're a D2 school with the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, whereas women's basketball is taking on Doane Tigers down the road. They're a Great Plains Athletic Conference, NAIA. I know them well from being from Hastings College and playing volleyball.
And so men tip off at 1 o'clock Sunday, and then women tip off in the evening at 6 o'clock Sunday. Really quickly, see if I can pull it up really, really fast. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
Well, if you tell me what you're trying to do.
We're going to try and pull up the schedule. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. I want to say like the regular season for them starts like next week.
Yeah, we're getting rolling pretty soon. See, Bill, we have a wonderful Excel sheet right in front of us, which then also shows the future basketball. So women's basketball, 11-4, men's basketball, 11-4. So it starts next Monday.
I panicked, okay? Sorry.
What is he? You're just good for pressing buttons over there.
That's all. I don't even press the right button sometimes. So other Sunday events, though, again, got to start off Sunday at the College View Farmers Market. I want to say this is like the second to last one.
Yep.
The last one is November 3rd. So 10 to 2, College View Farmers Market. Again, take advantage of that while it's still going on. And then my kids' alma mater, Messiah Lutheran Church and School, holding their fall festival from 1 to 3. Again, they always do a good job putting on these events. So again, undoubtedly that's going to be a good time over there. And then you can head on over to Hibner Stadium. Hopefully the Huskers have a better outing against the Hoosiers this go around, as opposed to again the football game last Saturday. Again, Huskers take on.
Don't even talk about it.
I know. So hopefully we see a little better outcome this time around with soccer.
Yes, and then at 5 o'clock, again, Lead Center's bumpin'. Lincoln Symphony Orchestra is doing the orchestra moves. And then at 7, the Phantom of the Opera, a 1925 silent film, is playing at First Plymouth Church. That kind of sums up our Sunday pretty much.
Yeah, pretty brief Sunday, but I like the travel back in time and experience the thrills and chills of the silent film classic. So it should be fun.
Yeah.
Should be fun. And weather this weekend looks like it should be pretty nice. Feeling more late October-ish on Friday and Saturday. Plenty of sunshine, no rain chances. Mid-60s Friday and Saturday. Saturday morning will be chilly. So if you're out early, again, temperatures are expected in the low 30s early in the day. So bundle up if you're heading out early. Again, those folks that might be running in the Good Life Havesy might be shedding a few layers through the morning. And then Sunday's a little bit warmer, a little bit more of a south breeze, mid-70s for the day on Sunday. Plenty of sunshine. If you are happen to be traveling to Columbus, Ohio, also expected to be a little bit of a chilly day. Checking out your Anderson Wealth and Retirement Husker Game Day forecast. Kickoff temperature, it says noon. It's 11 o'clock Central, noon their time there for kickoff. 56 for a kickoff, but doesn't look like any rain, and the wind looks like it should be fairly light. So, again, overall, it looks like pretty decent football weather in Columbus. Hopefully, things turn out a little bit better than they did last weekend. That's all we can say.
I'm just glad that I wasn't watching. Mason was updating me during it, and I said, can you just text me when Nebraska does something good? And he's like, I'm not going to text you the rest of the day then. And I said, it's that bad? Oh, but, hey, we're going to turn things around. And I saw something on Twitter, Kennesaw State against who? Maybe you would know this. I was hoping you would know this, but Kennesaw State
Liberty.
Liberty something.
Just Liberty.
Okay.
Just
Liberty Mutual. No,
yep.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. I know that's a bank or something. A bank, maybe.
It's a business.
Something that's not football. That Kennesaw State was a 20-some point underdog, and they beat them like 27-24.
Their first FBS win. It's their first year in the Division I, basically.
Yeah. So if they can do it, we can too.
We will see. We will definitely see. All right.
We'll try to give them a fright. Give OSU a fright.
There we go. All right. 5 o'clock news coming up here in a couple minutes, so you can tune in for that. Latest news, weather, and I don't think there's sports in the 5 o'clock news.
No, there's not.
But
That's
you can tune
because
in
we
at
take over on Fridays, at least.
That's right. That's absolutely right. All right, so keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest news, weather, and sports, and as always, all your latest entertainment news in Star City Buzz. Again, we try and do this live every Thursday right around 4:30, so you can tune in for more episodes as we move on. So for Danielle Shenk, I'm Bill Rentschler. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to 1011 Star City Buzz. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.